Good afternoon, folks. My name is Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. Probable cause basically means that it's more likely than not that a crime has occurred, and more likely than not that you're the person who committed that crime. Of course, as you stand before me today, I presume that you're innocent of these allegations. That presumption of innocence will stay with you through every stage of the proceedings, unless and until the State Attorney's Office is able to prove the allegations against you beyond and to the exclusion of a reasonable doubt. We'll set your conditions of pretrial release today, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit, or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you today. Pardon me. You do have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know, and we'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regards to the facts that surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you there at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn.
Right hand.
Everybody raise your right hand. There you go. Solemnly swear, affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When your name is called, please come forward to the podium. Sissy Britton. Afternoon, young lady. What's your date of birth?
4/17/98.
You are here because by a warrant that Judge Ruby signed, apparently you failed to appear in her court on a charge of driving on a suspended license last week. Is there a time served offer in this?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Young lady, if you want to take care of this case today, you can plead no contest to the charge. I would adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 1 day in the county jail, which you've already done. There would be a fine and court costs to pay, but the case would be resolved and you'd be out today. Is that something you'd like to do?
Yes.
Very good. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you're willing to give up those rights so we can resolve your case today?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Case number 19-CT-985 as to the charge that you drove, knowing your license had been suspended or revoked. How do you wish to plead? You may plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find that it was freely and voluntarily made, adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to 1 day in the county jail, credit 1 day served. Fine and court cost is $488.50 for the night in jail. If that takes care of it, young lady, if there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you will be released today, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good luck. Catherine Holmes. Afternoon,
Good
Catherine.
day, Your Honor.
What's your date of birth?
March 7, 1976.
All right, Catherine, I got possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
Okay. Statement, can you tell me? Appoint the PD.
Your Honor, she had a DUI in 07 and Willis just pled in last year in 2018. I checked her driver's license and it's still suspended. The state would announce if she wanted to take a time served offer in the state would be willing to do that.
Okay. If she gets it, you're looking for adjudication on both counts if she takes time served?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Catherine, you can resolve the case today if you want. If you pled today, it would be time served, adjudication on both counts, and credit for the 1 day that you've got in. The case would be done, but it would add an additional year of suspension to your driver's license because of the adjudication on the marijuana. If that's something you want to do, we can do that now. If you'd rather have me lower your bond a little bit and send you on your way, we can do that.
I'll take the going home and the 1 year no license.
There you go. All right, Catherine, you understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer, because I'm unappointing the public defender, but you're willing to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. As to the charge that you possess marijuana, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
As to the charge that you possess drug paraphernalia, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept those pleas, Captain. Find they're freely and voluntarily made. I'll adjudicate you guilty on both counts. 1 day in the county jail on each count. Credit for 1 day served on each count. Finding court costs on count 1 is $583. On count 2 is $103. $50 for the day in jail. 1 year driver's license suspension because of the adjudication on the marijuana, but that takes care of it, young lady. If there's nothing else keeping you in the jail, you will be released today, all right?
Thank you, sir.
I don't
You
have
have a good
case
day.
number. She just got arrested. Try to pull a fast one. All right. Rebecca Krieger Barron.
Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, ma'am. What's your date of birth?
9/61.
All right. You're here on a charge of grand theft auto. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the PD, State.
I am showing an open DUI case in Hernando County that's set for arraignment in May. That case number is 2019 CG.
I suspect that's the incident that this stems from.
Okay.
That's the vehicle.
Okay.
Okay.
And then, otherwise, it's a DUI with no disposition in April of 2019. It looks like to be pending out of Pasco County. A DUI adjudication of guilt in 2015 where a prison sentence was imposed. Driving on a permanently revoked driver's license adjudication in 2015. Adjudication in 2014 for a petty theft second degree. An adjudication for refusal in 2012 as well as a DUI in 2012.
That's good then. Rebecca, I got an address for you on Channel Drive in Port Richey. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you been there?
Pardon me?
How long have you lived there?
Since 94.
All right. Do you have a job these days?
I'm disabled.
Okay. Leave your bond at the $2,000. I'll have you back in court on the 10th of May. Very important that you contact the public defender if you get out. If you can't get out, he'll come see you at the jail before you go to court. Thank you. Tanya Patterson. Afternoon, miss. What's your date of birth?
12/10/76.
Tanya, you're here on a probable cause arrest for a VOP. There is probable cause for the violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the PD. The bond, of course, is no bond. I will change your date. I'm going to have you back in court on the 30th of April. Looks like they might have told you May 10th. It'll be April 30th. Public defender will come see you before then, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Andrew Andrews.
Afternoon, sir.
Afternoon. Andrew, what's your date of birth?
4/24/79.
Andrew, I have a warrant for you signed by a judge in Pasco County. Apparently you failed to appear in that judge. I don't know what the charge was. Looks like it was a misdemeanor. But that judge issued a bond of $1,013. I can't change that. If you can post the bond here, Andrew, you can get out of jail here, go down to Newport Richey, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post that bond, I will give Pasco 5 days to come get you. Never takes 5 with Pasco. But if for some strange reason you're still here in 5, they'll bring you back to see me, and we'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
All right. Yeah, the reason I missed, I had court yesterday in Hernando and Pasco. So
Yeah, it can't be 2 places at once, right?
Oh no, I tried.
Very good. Thanks, Andrew. Esteban Cantero. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
And 28/1989, sir.
Esteban, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for a violation of probation. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, sir.
I'll appoint the public defender. Bond on that warrant is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to have you back in court on the 26th of April. I think they told you the 30th. The right date is the 26th. and the public defender will come see you before then, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Robert.
Robert Dunn? Afternoon, Robert. What's your date of birth?
03/08/2000.
Robert, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Rupi. She found probable cause for a violation of probation. And let's see.
Rex 30, he's got 4 in.
I'm looking. I don't see the rec. All right, the rec's 30. And he has a new law on my docket, which is the VOP. State with the 30 take care of this and his new law?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So, Robert, you now have this violation of probation. You have the new driving on a suspended case that's coming back in front of me on the 2nd of May. If you wanted to resolve both of these right now, you could do that for 30 days. That takes care of both cases. You already have 4 in. You'd have about 3 weeks left to do, then both of these are finished. If that's something you'd like to do, we can. I do have to tell you that the VOP case is possession of marijuana, and admitting a violation in that case today would result in an additional 1-year suspension on your driver's license. All of that being said, do you want to take 30 and resolve these 2 cases?
Yes, sir.
Very good. You understand by entering a admission in the VOP today, you give up the right to have a trial to the court, and the right to confront the witnesses against you, and the right to have an attorney. And by entering a plea in the new case, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer. But you want to give up those various rights so that we can resolve both cases today?
Yes, sir.
Very good. In case number 19783MM, do you admit that you violated your probation?
Yes, sir.
Accept the admission, find it was freely and voluntarily made, revoke and terminate your probation unsuccessfully, adjudicate you guilty of the underlying charge if that was not done before. I will sentence you to 30 days in the county jail with credit for 4 days served. There'll be $100 for the public defender's office, $100 for the state attorney's office, your cost of incarceration, and a 1-year suspension for the adjudication on the cannabis charge if that didn't happen before. In case number 19CT1063, as to the charge that you drove, knowing your license had been suspended or revoked, how do you wish to plead? You may plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made, adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to 30 days in the county jail, credit 4 served, running concurrent with your other case. In that case, there is a fine and court cost of $488. That takes care of both cases, Robert. You just need to finish the time, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. John Francisco. Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
10/1/57, sir.
All right, John, the charge is battery being domestic in nature. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
You don't have to, sir. You don't have to. Thank you.
I have no idea what you just said.
Okay.
Would you like the public defender?
Yes, sir.
There we go. I'll appoint the public defender. State, what can you tell me?
No prior history, Your Honor.
Okay. And John, I have an address for you on Jacobson Road in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
About 43 years.
Do you have a job these days?
Huh?
Do you have a job?
No, sir. I'm retired Navy.
Okay. To set your bond at $500, condition of your bond is that you're going to have no contact with Lorraine Talbot. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't call, you don't write, you don't email, you don't text message, you don't contact her through any social media, you don't go where she lives, you don't go where she works, you don't have any contact of any kind. Any way that you might imagine contacting her, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bond will be revoked and you'll be held without bond until these charges are resolved. It means no contact even if she wants the contact. So if you answer your phone and hear her voice, you should hang up. If you're out and about and see her, you should turn around and run the other way. You need to understand that she cannot drop the charges against you. That's not a decision she gets to make. She may go to the state attorney's office and ask that the charges be dropped, but that decision belongs solely to the assistant state attorney handling your case. So unless that person or the judge on your case or your lawyer tell you the charges are dropped, you should assume they are not dropped and you should not have contact. In addition, you'll be held at the jail today up until 4 p.m. so that if she wanted to serve you with a civil injunction for protection against domestic violence, we'd know where to find you. If you get the civil injunction, it's doubly important that you not have contact because in that case, not only would your bond here get revoked, but you would get new charges for violating the injunction. I'm going to have you back in court on the 3rd of May. Very important that you contact the public defender if you bond out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
One more question, sir.
Sure.
I wasn't planning on calling her anyway. I wasn't planning on visiting her either.
Okay, I didn't hear a question. What's your question?
I said what the answer would be without calling her or talking to her. I would not do it anyway.
Okay.
That's what my plan is anyway.
Okay, well that's good. Don't call her. All right, thank you. Chad Lynch.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Afternoon, Chad. What's your date of birth?
589.
All right, Chad, we've got 3 probable cause arrests for violation of probation. Looks like 3 different cases where you were put on probation in Pasco and being supervised here. There is probable cause for those charges. So what we're going to do is set the bond at no bond on each one and tell Pasco you're here and ready to go. They've got 5 days to come get you. Like you've heard me say before, it never takes 5 with Pasco. But if for some unknown reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me and I'll find out what the problem is, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Nicholas Pisciata. Afternoon, Nick. What's your date of birth?
7/24/60.
All right, Nick, you're hearing a warrant that I signed up on probable cause for violation of probation. The folks at probation are recommending we terminate your probation and have you do 30 days in the county jail. If you want to do that right now, we sure can. If you'd rather speak to an attorney first, you can do that, but understand that you're not going to get a bond today, you're not going to get out today. So you can tell me you want to talk to a lawyer first, or tell me you'll take the 30.
Take 30.
All right, you understand by entering an admission in a violation of probation, Nick, that you give up the right to have a trial to the court, the right to confront the witnesses against you, and the right to have a lawyer represent you. But you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes.
Case number 18MM3024, as to the charge of do you admit that you violated your probation? Nick, do you admit you violated your probation?
Yes, yes.
Very good.
Yes, it is.
I accept the admission, find it's freely and voluntarily made, revoke and terminate the probation unsuccessfully, adjudicate you guilty of the underlying charge. If we didn't do that before, sentence you to 30 days in the county jail, credit 1 day served. There'll be $100 for the state, $100 for the public defender's office, and your cost of incarceration. But that takes care of it, Nick. You just need to finish the time, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Laurel Richmond.
Yes,
Afternoon, sir. What's your date of birth?
August 31st, 1961.
All right, so you're here on a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. There's probable cause for the charge. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Defender.
I'll point to PD, state.
An adjudication in 93 for child fondling, lascivious, and an out-of-state 86 robbery where prison sentence was imposed. No other history, Your Honor.
Does he have status because of that conviction? In Florida? Do you know?
It looks like sex offender registration, yes.
Okay. Is there a resolution today?
10 days, Hernando County Jail.
Okay. All right. So Laurel, here's the deal. If you want to resolve this today, it would be 10 days in the county jail. You got credit for 2. The only reason I tell you that is because of your status. If I set a bond, it's going to be $2,000, and it's also going to include GPS monitoring at your expense, which means if you wanted to get out, you'd have to pay for GPS, which is like $15 a day. If you'd rather just do the 10 days right now and be done with this, we can do that.
I don't understand what status, sir.
Yeah, you're a registered sex offender.
Well, at this point, I have no way of getting a hold of anybody because all my numbers are in my cell phone, which is improper. I have money to get out, but I have no way to get it. To pay a bond.
Okay? Look, I'm not trying to make life difficult. I was just trying to give you an option. So if you can't get out, because the court date is going to be the 3rd of May. So if you do the math with me, today is the 11th of April. That means the 3rd of May is 33 days away. And if you don't have anybody who can help you bond out, then you're going to be in jail for 33 days. You can take the plea today, and then you'll be in jail for 10 days. If I did it correctly, 10 days is less than 33 days.
Yes, sir, I'll do that.
Very good. You understand by entering a plea today, you give up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can take care of this today?
Yes, sir.
Very good. As to the charge that you possess drug paraphernalia, how do you wish to plead? You can plead no contest.
No contest.
I'll accept that plea, find it was freely and voluntarily made, adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to 10 days in the county jail, credit 2 days served, fine and court costs is $568, cost of incarceration. I'll unappoint the public defender so you don't have to pay for them. So, Laurel, you just need to finish the time and this is over with, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right. Do we have any